All right, hello again. Not again, but mic drop. So I'm just resetting this. Today, this is my animation, new animation slash whatever thing, and I'm recording this. So let's get into it. If you're some random guy looking at this, want a tutorial on it, I got you. Just leave that in the comments. But anyways, what are we going over? So all I did here was basically a very simple animation. We're gonna go over how I did it, the research that went behind it, and then we'll go research. No, yeah, we'll go research and then how I did it. Going over exactly what I did. So basically, all it is this nice little triangle that rotates. This is kind of like a little power up example. That's what I'm calling it. And then it'll rotate, and then when I press P or whatever action you do, boom, these particles start flying out and it looks all right. It's still like a basic, base model. Still have lots of room for improvement and textures and all that. But it's just something basic. I just kind of whipped up and, can add a lot more later on too. So we're going to go into kind of like the research behind it. Again, this wasn't anything too crazy. I looked up a tutorial or two and, got stuff from there. Took me about a minute to decipher the tutorials and get what I needed from them, and then kind of play with it on my own, just to have fun. And this is kind of what I ended up with, is this little square, not square, but little prism moving around and just doing stuff. So now we have this little prism there. Now we know how I did that. Let's go into now you know the research. Let's go into how I did it. Ooh. So all we're gonna do is click on a little object here. I guess we don't really need to, but first thing we did was add an animation. Now the best way, easiest way to do this is to click on an object, go to the animation tab, which it won't just automatically be down here. You go to your Windows, go to the layout or something. Not layout. Yeah, animation. My bad. Right here. And you just add the animation tab, and we record an animation. As you can see, it's basically just it spinning in a circle, and that's a little animation there. So we created it, added some keyframes, and animated it. After that, I then just synced it up in the animator, which is also another tab you get from your window, and just dragged everything. Just simple animation, so I didn't have much to do. Now, usually the default curves, which is for games, is basically slows down the animation on its way back. It'll slow it down when you first do it, but you go here, you right click on them, and then you make both of them linear, both tangents linear. All it does is basically make it so it spins at a consistent speed and slow down or anything like that. So after I finished that, made it into a prefab. I was like, let's add a little something to it, and that's where we add a little particle system here. Now this is just a very basic, super simple particle system I added using this little thing. I may just kind of should have said default if I can, but I'm not even gonna worry about that. But yes, a little thing. It's kind of went poorly. Yeah, can't really send the default, but it's all right anyway. Kind of just shoot out these little squares. It's kind of supposed to resemble fire, but whatever. So yeah, that's what this does right here. And all I did was, sync this up. So that has, little particle animations. It looks cool. And now if we go into our little script, let's make a little example script right here. It's going to zoom in so it looks a little easier to see. And all we did here was get the particle system itself, which is, particle system got part. And then I basically added a little tag just for convenience sake. And what it does is we find that tag, get that component, and then it'll automatically on the start pause the animation slash particle system, so it doesn't go crazy. I then on update, if the P key is pressed, which I showed in the beginning, it'll start playing again. And this right here can be applied to anything. It can be on collision, it can be on trigger, it can be on whatever you want. So that's how it works here, and that's my little animation slash particle system thing. All right.